Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Recently I saw a movie called Battleship Island, which I thought it is very similar to Life is Beautiful. And it also portrays events that happened during the World War II. The movie is about Hashima Island, which is also called Battleship Island because it looks like one. And it is near Nagasaki. For Japan, this is like a symbol for the pride of the Japanese industrial development, and it also got recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage, but they are not telling the whole story. Hashima Island was a place with forced labor. Just like Auschwitz, people were tricked and taken there with a promise of work. About 500 to 800 Koreans were taken there and forced to work in deadly coal mines. Workers were starving most of the time, and there was also risk of gas explosions. Because they worked in narrow spaces in underground mines, they also had to use kids for work so they could get into these narrow spaces. There were Japanese working and living there as well, but the living conditions were completely different. While Japanese people would get their own apartment, Koreans lived packed together in small rooms. Hashima Island was recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, but there was a precondition. They should acknowledge that forced labor happened there. Despite that, the truth is not being told. It's like denying the Holocaust and denying the victims' suffering. It should not be promoted as a place where people worked and lived happily. There are many cases where people tried to escape by swimming and eventually ended up dying. Even the United States was against UNESCO recognition, since prisoners of war were taken there to do forced labor. Every European knows about Auschwitz, what happened and how people suffered there, but most Japanese don't know the truth about Battleship Island. Even so, a few Japanese opened a place in Nagasaki called Nagasaki Peace Museum, where they are trying to teach the real history to the population. All that's being asked is that the Japanese government acknowledges the truth, tells and remembers the right history. If you want to know more, I recommend watching both Battleship Island as well as Life is Beautiful. What's interesting is that both stories revolve mostly around a father and his child, and you can know more about what really happened in these forced labor and concentration camps during the World War II. I will post links below with more information. People must know the past so they can be better in the future.